Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project planning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. I have my little guy beside me here, so I'm going to try and of course keep him out of frame. So I'll do my best. Now this is going to be sort of like a birthday collab for Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty. It is her birthday in May and she wanted to do this together and I'm so excited about it. So what we are going to be doing today, now where did I put my palette? We're going to be using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette together, and I really cannot wait to try this. At first I wasn't like interested in buying it, but it went on crazy sale, like half price at Sephora. I picked it up and don't touch, honey. Sorry, he's trying to stop this video. I picked it up and I'm very excited to try it out. It is actually very similar in comparison to the Sydney Grace bundle that came out that Mel Thompson created like years ago, which everyone thought the retro palette was going to look like. But then they came out with Retro Glam because they had so many people like, this is not what we thought it was going to be. So we're going to start on the top part of my forehead. I've already put on some of this primer from Dermablend. I'm going to do my forehead first, and then I'm going to start on my brows just so that I make sure that I have some foundation and stuff underneath there. But I'm going to make a concoction because I already have the primer, forehead primer on. So I'm going to use a few of my debronzy drops. And I'm going to put in a couple of the California Beamin drops. I've been really enjoying these. Just one. One drop is actually quite a good dollop, honestly. I'm also going to put some of this Murad SPF, even though the SPF is expired. I still wanted to use the product up, and I already had SPF on from earlier because I wear SPF every day. And I think I'm going to use... This is a lot of stuff, actually. I'm actually putting too much, but I'm going to use a little bit of this NARS foundation, which is a little too dark for me right now, but because I have the Beamin drops and the moisturizer in there, it'll lighten up substantially. And then I'm just going to mix all of that in together. That is going to be deep. Yeah, that's going to be deep. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to take it on most of my face because I did have a little bit of excess and I put it all over. Usually this blends out to a pretty nice shade, so I'm not sure why it's coming off a little dark. But honestly, I'm just going to keep it because I don't want to waste this product. I would like to get a NARS foundation, and honestly, at the Sephora sale I bought, did I buy a foundation? Yeah, I bought a, oh my gosh, Valentino foundation. And I wanted to buy something bougie for myself, so that's what I decided instead of a Gucci blush or something, which I really actually would like to get one day, but I will just wait. So I don't have a whole lot of everything on my face. I'm just putting any of the excess all over, so you can mostly see it on the forehead. And the rest, I think, for foundation, I'm going to try and use my little sample pack up for the rest of my face later. So let's do brows now. I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Pomade or Brow Freeze. And okay, I'm going to get into, I'm all over the place, you guys. For this duo collab thing with Kim, she wanted to do, it's called Would You Rather. And it was a tag, I think it was from Kelly Gooch, but she's tagging it from Dub's Beauty Diary. And so we're going to do the Would You Rather tag from her, but I will tag Dub's Beauty Diary, Kelly Gooch, and Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty all down below. So I just want to quickly throw some brow freeze in my brows, and then we'll go back to doing the rest of my forehead. I don't know why I'm doing it like this. Normally I wait to do my brows until after, but I think I got sidetracked, but it's okay. I'm just going to put a little bit in there, and I might have to go in with a little more after. What did I want to do for my forehead? I'm almost done. Let's see. I might just use a bit of a powder. Okay, I think I'm going to use a little bit of a translucent powder, which is from Sephora. I'm almost done it. So I'm just going to take that little bit and put it on my forehead, and then I'm going to go in with a L'Oreal powder. Hi, honey. You can't sit on mommy right now, bud. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Powder. And I'm just going to take a hint and press that in. So the first question is, would you rather have a bad base or bad eye makeup? I would much rather have a bad base. I would much rather, like you can tell right now, my base isn't the right color for me. So obviously I would rather I would rather have a bad base. Eye makeup, I can't have, like when people talk to you, normally they talk to you by looking at your eyes. So they're going to be staring at your bad eye makeup. They're not going to be staring at, you know, your poor foundation line on the forehead if you don't blend that out or whatever else. I would much rather have a bad base. Wow, rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead in with some more of this brow product now, just to intensify the freeze or the hold. This one is, would you rather wear a neutral eye for the rest of your life or a neutral lip? And that it is a bit of a harder question for me because I do wear a neutral lip almost every single day anyway, but there are times where I would love to have a smoky eye and a bold red lip, or a neutral eye and a really bright fun color, or even like a, if I wanted to do pinup style, it would have to be neutral eye with a red lip for me. And so that really takes away a lot of the option. But since this is just a game and I pretty much wear colorful eyeshadow and a neutral lip anyway, I'm going to say neutral lip, because if you looked at my collection, I would say 75% of it is neutral. So that would be an easy answer for me. Let's see. I think I'm going to do pomade now. Yes, honey, you're doing so good. You're singing so nice, honey. No touching that for mommy, okay? You can't touch mommy's things. You gotta go play with your own toys. Oh my word. I'm gonna have to get a mirror. He's sitting on my lap and it's like, oh my gosh. Okay. Just be careful, please. No touching. Yes, Chucky. Chucky. Yes, you know Chucky. Oh, there's I was like, why is this foggy? But there is a film on top of it, so I just have to take that off. So I'm basically just filling in the gaps, which is a lot because I way overplucked when I was younger. Please be careful, buddy. Mommy doesn't want you falling off. Thank you. Okay, I think that's okay. It still looks a little sheer, but yet, you know, filled in. And then I'm going to do the other side. I hope you guys are okay with me doing like the brows and everything on screen. I know not everyone is interested in how everyone does brows, but I figure I'm going to show you guys anyway. So yeah. The brush is from Patrick Ta. I got it at Sephora. And I'm actually quite tempted to get another one. I'm not even sure. I might have even placed an order for one. But I'm going to have to take a look and see. So I can't remember if I ordered one or not. But I need to replace all the ones that I have. I have, not all, but like I have about 5 or 6 of them that are really old. And they're from, is it Morphe? They're just terrible, honestly. Like Morphe has some very good brushes and some very cheap brushes, and the one that I had is just not great. Excuse mommy. Thank you, baby. You gotta keep it open, okay? Mommy gotta do this. Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. Alright, so next we're gonna go in with the carving concealer that I use underneath my eye, and we'll do the next question, which is number 3. Would you rather wear the wrong foundation shade or no foundation at all? Honestly, I could do both. Clearly, if I was, like, I would probably wear no foundation at all because I don't usually wear much foundation anyway. I usually just do debronzy drops and a little bit. What's wrong, my baby? What's wrong, honey? Are you okay? It's okay. They're not getting hurt. He gets so upset when there's animals or anything like insects or whatever. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Earth, baby. They're just flying. You're okay. he gets so sad. So if you ever hear him screaming about something, it's usually because he thinks an animal... Yeah, blast off! He thinks an animal is getting hurt or something. Blast off. And he will try to touch my mouth when he wants me to say something, so you may see his little fingers come onto the screen. My son is nonverbal autistic, so for any of you who are new to my channel, that is why he touches my mouth. And he gets very, very upset because he doesn't quite understand. Even though he's seen the episode a million times, he still, if he thinks that something's getting hurt, his little heart is just so sensitive that he just gets so scared and so sad. But he's okay now, I think. So this is basically what I do for my brows, which is quite the situation. But I don't need that much for brow utensils, and it usually lasts me a while. The brow freeze I can go through one in between a month to 2 months, depending on how often I'm using it. For the month of April, I got sick for a little while there, so I wasn't wearing makeup at all, but I don't know. But yeah, so I think my answer for that one is definitely going to be just no foundation. I mean, I'm wearing the wrong foundation shade right now, but I can also blend that out and stuff with some bronzer and things like that. And it'll be fine, and like lighten it up with concealer. Like, it's not the end of the world. But I mean, honestly, for the most part, like, I could go without and just put some blush and stuff on. Okay, so let's do the Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm very excited. Very, very excited to try this palette out today, because I've had it probably for a good month and a half-ish. I don't even remember, but I'm going to say month and a half. And we'll grab the palette. I have to move it out of the way because otherwise my little guy gets handsy with the products, and he likes to stick his fingers because they're all shiny and colorful. All right, so this is what she looks like. Very, very beautiful. Here's the cover. And then this is what she looks like inside. So I think I'm going to go in with the shade Lucy first with a very loose brush. Just blend that out into my crease. Yes, honey. Froggies. Say ribbit. And I just want to set the crease a little bit. I don't like to set the whole thing because I like to have a tacky base. I do like a lot of colorful eyeshadow, and this is a very, very, very neutral eyeshadow base or eyeshadow color. Like, the whole palette is very neutral and soft. Though there are a few deeper shades. I think they're cream to powder because they're very deep matte shades, I think. I hope they're matte shades. But anyhow, this shade is kind of like a greenish taupe. It's very interesting. Part of me wishes I picked up the collection from Sydney Grace. I have been enjoying the Mel Thompson Tiny Marvels eyeshadow palette from there. But I figured because I have this, I don't necessarily need duplicates of the same palette, because honestly, I'm one person with 2 tiny eyeballs, so like, there's no point, right? So I think next, I'm looking at the palette, and I'm not sure what color scheme I want to go with. I think I might do green on the outer portion and pink on the inner. Yes, ding, ding, ding. I think I'm going to go in first with... Let's try Oz. It's shiny, but like I want to see what it's all about. So I'm going to use a little bit of a firmer brush first, just to see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that's really beautiful. Oh my goodness. Normally these like sagey colors are just not my jam at all, but so far it's very pretty on the eye. I am going to blow that out into the crease a little bit. And then I'm going to take a looser brush. Just a tiny, tiny dab on there, like the tiniest bit of product. And I'm just going to blend out the crease. Okay, you got to sit nice, buddy. Mommy's doing eyes now, okay? Got to sit nice. I think I'm going to use this, I can see a little bit better. Okay, I really like that. I do, this eye has a few weird folds. Like there's a fold up here that I don't know what this is from. And like it always has a bald patch in there for some reason. So it's not the product. I just don't want you guys to think that it's the product that's doing that. But I'm really, really liking so far the way that this shade is applying. It's very nice. And it really blends in nicely with the crease shade. These brushes that I'm using right now are from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. These ones here. Love them, and I would love to buy a few more. I just want to get a really good blend going. It's very patchy. And this will be cleaned up, so don't worry about underneath. Just trust the process. I promise you it will get better. But I'm going to go back into Lucy and a little bit into Faye. And I'm just going to blend that out around the outer portion. I'm going to just basically use Lucy most, which is the shade we went in with first in the crease. It's looking dirty and muddy, but it'll change. You want to see that one? Chucky and Tiff. Okay. All right, so question 4. Would you rather give up primer or setting spray? Definitely setting spray, because I feel like primer just helps my skin give that, it's like a barrier between my makeup and my skin that helps it adhere. And if there's nothing to help it adhere, it's just going to come off because I'm greasy, let's face it. So if you're dry skin, you could probably give up primer, but for me, I have to give up setting spray. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of Evergreen, the shade right here on the outer corner. I'm going to use a little bit of a stiffer brush, and I'm just going to go over top of this. Now, I kind of wish this was a little bit deeper. It actually looks like it would be in the pan. So I may have to go over this with a brown, because it's not that deep for me, honestly. It's not giving me as much depth as I'm looking for. All right, let's blend this out a little bit and see. I mean, it's okay, but I don't know. I feel like for me, I like a lot of depth, like almost black depth. So I'm going to see this jazzy one. That's still a very soft brown. Like, it's not as deep as I would want. So I'm going to just leave that. I'll leave it as it is. It doesn't like scream, look at me, I have a bunch of eyeshadow on. And that's what I like. So I'm just going to have to add a little bit more of the darkest green. I really truly thought it was going to be a lot darker, but I should have known from Natasha Denona, she doesn't really have a lot of super dark, like this is this color right here, and I really thought it was going to pack on more of like depth for me, but it's just not giving me the life that I really want from it. So I'm just going back over with Oz, which is this green shade right here, and I'm just blending out that outer corner. And I will go over that a bit with a neutral shade later, because I got to do that for my brow bone. So I'm just taking it out quite far because I will go over top of that later. Just I don't have a shade in here that will do that for me, so I'll have to tap into something else. But now let's go ahead and go into the inner portion. This looks like a hot mess, but again, trust the process. It will work out. I think I'm going to go in with Holly first, then this shade right here called Belle. So Holly first, then Belle, and then I'm going to put this on the lid. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of Holly. The next question that we have here is, would you rather not wear makeup for a year or not drink coffee for a year? I can easily give up coffee for a year, but I can't give up wearing no makeup. Like I can't give up makeup. But I can happily give up coffee. Makeup is such a passion for me, and it's always been something that people remember about me and something I love about just spending my time doing this. Like, I've done makeup ever since I was a little kid, and I mean little kid. Not a lot of parents would let their kids wear makeup, but mine used to let me wear makeup no problem. So yeah, definitely it would be the makeup situation. I need to wear makeup. And okay, before people come hating, I don't need to wear makeup, but it's just in my heart. I love it. So now I'm going in with that deeper shade, and I'm going to just pull that right into the crease because I want to give depth to my eye and dimension, and really nothing is happening with that shade. Like, it's barely, I mean, you can see there's a shade there, but it looks the same as the Holly shade, essentially. So, I don't know. I'm not really over the moon about this eyeshadow palette, to be completely honest. But do I hate it? No. I don't think I enjoy it as much as I would have hoped. But that's quite all right for me. It's nice to have different things in the collection. And so now we're going to go in with a flat shader brush. I'm going to use one that already has pink on it. It's very stained. And I'm going to go in with Flare, which is the shimmery pink shade. The next question we have is, would you rather have only 60 seconds to do your daily makeup routine or have to do a full glam 1 hour transformation every time you do your makeup? 1 hour. Bring it on. 1 hour every day. I would love that. Full glam. That would be so fun because I would get to play with my makeup. And I feel like makeup is art. I really, really do. So I'm just going to pull that pink over the green just a little bit in the center. I don't want to go too crazy though, because you don't want to muddy out, because green and red are essentially on the other ends of the color wheel. They would make brown. You do not want to muddy it up and make a brown in the center, because this pink is essentially, like, of course, a form of red. I'm just not digging this eyeshadow palette. I don't know. It's okay, but it's not like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I was expecting something more. Okay, I'm going to have to go into my Tartelette palette right now, and I'm going to just use one of these neutral shades to blend out under my brow bone, and then we'll go in with that other really light shade as a brow bone highlight. I know you're upset, but mommy can't come with you right now. You saying dada? Da. You say mum? Da. You say mum. And then I'm going to take a very, very short paddle brush and go in with the shade Flutter, which is right here in the top corner. And this looks like a topper shade, but I am going to just put this underneath my brow. Honey, mommy's going to move sideways so you can sit on me, okay? That's not safe. Here, you sit on mommy's leg. There you go, baby. Put your leg down. Put this down. Thank you, honey. Yeah, I'm right here. You hold on good now. It's really, really pretty. I really like that shade. It just brings some depth and dimension to the look. It just sort of vibranted it up a little bit because it was looking kind of dull. And it makes me really, really happy that I have that. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean up underneath my eyes and everything, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I added a little bit of mascara and like a tiny little brown eyeliner from Sephora. And I'm going to do a little bit more of this Dermablend Jelly Primer right now. And I'm just going to put that on my nose and under my eyes, because I really took off a lot of stuff from under my eyes. This stuff feels like it dries down like immediately. And it gets like super tacky. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now that I have my base on, I am going to add a little bit of foundation from this Elizabeth Arden sample. I'm going to use the shade, I want to say it's 260N. And that shade, I think, is probably the best shade match I have ever had. I've used it a few times. Okay, it's kind of messy because I was struggling. But I'm going to go ahead and plop this on with my foundation brush. Like, I feel like it just blends right into my skin. Yes, I have redness, but I feel like this covers the redness nicely. Okay, so I'm really, really liking this foundation. Part of me wants to buy it, but I think it would probably be a little bit pricey, and I just bought a pretty expensive foundation. So I'm not sure that I'm going to get it, but I definitely will keep that shade in mind, because that was literally like the perfect shade match to my neck and chest. Like, I think it looks so nice. And then I'm going to go in with some of this Tarte C concealer. And I have so far used 12N Fair and 32N Medium. And the 32N Medium actually matched me quite nicely. So I think I'm going to go in with the 20N Light Neutral. And just put that underneath my eyes a little bit. Now, Tarte concealer is usually very drying, especially if it's an older concealer. I should have had a wet sponge, but the kid keeps trying to climb on me. That actually looks really nice. Even the neutral looks really, really nice. It's a little too on the orangey side for me. Like, it's a little leaning warm on my skin shade. Ow. But I really like the way that brightens, and it doesn't look cakey to me. And I put a lot on too. Like, it's not like I went light-handed. I really did cake it on, honestly. That's pretty much all I have for samples to use right now. I do have other things, but I don't want to use those right now because they just don't go with the whole like eye situation, and they're eye products. So for face, I'm actually going to go into one of my cream blushes from Saint. And I think I'm going to go in with, honey, you got to stop coming up and down. I think I'm going to go in with Pink Grapefruit, which is right here. Haven't used that one in a while, and I wanted something a little more pink. This is very potent, so you really don't need much. I hope you guys can still see me. I'm seriously struggling today because ow, my kid keeps jumping on me. Okay, you gotta stop, honey. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you, but you gotta be careful. You're gonna fall. Thank you. I'm just gonna drape it across my nose. And I think that's more than enough. Pink Grapefruit is one of the ones that I first got. I think I even got it in my kit when I sold Saint, and I used to think it was just like too pink, but I'm actually really liking this pink. For the next question, it says, would you rather only use mattes or only shimmers? And honestly, I would happily use all mattes, no problem. I have done plenty of looks in my day using just matte eyeshadows. I love shimmers, don't get me wrong, but like I wouldn't want only shimmers always on my eyes. And then now we're going to go in with I want to use some more of my powder. So I'm going to set my face with a couple of different powders. I'm trying to use this one up, but it's very hard to get the stuff out of it. And so I'm going to also take some of my MAC, it's Studio Finish face powder, and I just mix it in with my translucent powders. I have one from Sephora that I want done before the end of the month. And I have another one from Kat Von D that will be going into a project soon. So I want to make sure I use those up. I am going to blend this all over my face, which is going to get all over my shirt. That's the only thing I don't like about loose powders, is they get everywhere. But let's face it, it's worth it. I really like loose powders. It just depends on the compartment that they come in. I can't handle some of the ones that's like really hard to get product out. At least with the ones that have the netting, you can cut the netting out if you want. But the other one, like the Sephora one, oh my gosh, it's not easy to get that product out at all. All right, so now that my face is somewhat set, we are going to do some contouring with my Tarteist palette. I'm not going to show you where I'm at right now because this one gets a video of its own. Oops, this is a blush palette. Okay, let's do another question. I think I'm on, well, second last question. So talkative today. It says, would you rather not do makeup for a year or never watch another YouTube video ever again? I'm not wearing makeup, so I would give up YouTube. I know that sounds terrible, but I would just put things in the watch later queue and then watch them later after the year is up. But yeah, I would not be giving up wearing makeup. So, sorry YouTube. As much as I love you, I would give it up for this. If it was a question that I actually had to answer, like I actually had to make a decision, yeah, I would not be giving up makeup. I'm just using the contour powder that I sort of made for myself, using 2 different shades in the palette. And I'm loving the shade that I made. I'm hoping I can remember what I used, like how I made it. I know what I used, but like how much of what I used. But yeah, I just want to throw that around to warm up the perimeter of my face. It's actually very cool, so I shouldn't say warm up, but it gives me dimension anyway. And then I'm going to go underneath my eye and set with my under eye setting powder. Okay. And last but not least, actually no, that's not last. We have a few things to do still, but this is sort of like one of the powders I need to decide on what to use. And I think I'm going to go in with my Tarte. It's called the Bling It On Amazonian Clay Blush Palette. I'm currently using this in a project. I want to use it for 50 uses. And it's finally looking a little bit used, like barely, but it's because I'm really good with my products. I don't tend to keep them dirty. I like to wipe them out and stuff and not have like a bunch of leftover stuff sitting all over it. But I'm going to go in with the brightest pinkest shade for now. And I am going to bring it up a little bit around. And I am also going to go in with another blush. I'm sorry I'm going fast a little bit with the face, but I want to try and do this before my son wants to come and sit on me. So I'm going to go in with this one in Breezy. It's just a little bit easier to do makeup without him sitting on my lap because he's quite big. And I'm actually just going to go over my contour with this shade. I know that sounds a little weird, but it's a really easy way to use a shade that's a little too dark for the season and that you really want to get use on. So I'm kind of going back over the contour with that blush. And then highlight, I'm going to use the Ofra Everglow. This is also in a project. And I'm also trying to get 100 uses on this one, which is not that hard considering like I use it almost every single day. But definitely go check out Kim's video. She asked me to do this collab with her for her, oh my goodness, for her birthday month. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. We need to do this for sure because it sounds like a lot of fun. And I like to do makeup, so let's play. So definitely go ahead and check her out. Wish her a happy birthday and all that stuff. Make sure you send her comments and like her video and subscribe to her channel. And also, like I said, I will link down Dub's, what is it called now? Dub's Beauty Diary. And why am I having a brain fart? I'm having a brain fart. I just had her name in my head. Kelly Gooch. I will have them linked down below in case you want to check them out. Honey, please stop throwing stuff. I'm going to use my setting spray. I kind of like the eyeshadow now that my base is on. I just think it's so subtle for me. Like this is super subtle for me. But I would wear this to work. So that's always good to know. I think for the lips, I'm going to put on my Flush Punch from Maybelline. 222 Flush Punch. And I'm just going to throw that on. This is a very beautiful color, by the way. Oh, and it's a nice consistency too. I'm not a fan of the way their lipsticks smell though. The last question says, one has to go, highlight, bronzer, or blush. I think I would get rid of, I don't usually use bronzer that much, so I'm going to say bronzer, but I go heavy with bronzer in the summer, like heavy, and I don't use highlight in the summer. So I'm still going to say bronzer though, because I don't get much of a summer here. And if I bought a highlighter in a deeper skin shade, it would technically be a bronzer. So I'll cheat and say I would get rid of bronzer. But I would never get rid of blush because sometimes I use blush even when I'm not wearing foundation and it just gives me life into my face. And there's so much like brands, textures, colors, finishes. It's just, I love blush so much. And highlight, I just feel like it just gives you the dimension. Bronze, it goes on the high points of your face, like where the sun hits you. I know a lot of people use bronzer as their contour, but I do not. Sometimes I do if it's like my cream one, but I use bronzer where like on the forehead and like the top of the nose and the cheeks and the top of the chin. So I can give that up. That's fine. But yeah, that's my answers to those questions. I will try to have those linked down below as well in case you guys are interested in trying it. But it is the Would You Rather tag. And again, where's my palette? We used the Natasha Denona Retro Glam eyeshadow palette today for Kim's birthday collab. And I had so much fun doing this. I know I was a little distracted because of my son, but I do want you guys to check out the look, check out Kim's channel. Let me know what you think in the comments. I could easily put a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes. I'm not going to do that. I'm like aging. I'm getting a little older. And so I feel like when I don't have something underneath my eyes, it just gives me a little bit more life and youthfulness, where if I pack stuff on underneath, it accentuates my bags, and I'm not about that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!